you know that this is the final frontier and you've got to figure it out. So if you just know that it's all on you and you kind of go into it knowing that, there's nothing you can't figure out with the right information, which we have, and the right tools. My name is Jeremy Leventure. I've been a Porsche technician since summer of 2014, so almost 3 years now. Before then, over at the Audi building across the street. There's two main reasons. One, I feel like a car company, it's kind of more of a car company that comes from racing or engineering, and Porsche has both of this. Two good examples is most well-known examples, I'd say, for the engineering side is a lot of companies come in and ask them to build things. Harley V-twin engine, very popular thing. Porsche designed that, and the intake manifold, the Chevy Vortec intake manifold, that also was designed by Porsche. So two quality pieces of engineering there. Also, they're worried about building the best car they can, and whatever the cost is, they've achieved that. They also have affordable models too, but that's not the first question. The first question is, let's get this car how we want it on the track, and then we can have affordable models too if that's not quite what someone's looking for. But racing, engineering is where they come from, and I feel like that will make a great car company. I have a positive outlook every time I go into a job. Even if, not every job is something you maybe want to work on, some are more difficult, hard diagnostics for, electrical stuff, intermittent issues, no one wants those cars, but you got to get into it, and, someone's got to figure it out, and every time you figure out one of those hard cars, you learn something from it, and that's what I always like to take away from even the cars that maybe no one out there wants to work on, no one even here is too excited to work on, but I should say the old saying back when I worked at Fleet Farm a long time ago was, if there was a problem you couldn't fix out there, it was like, all right, I'm sorry, sir, you've got to take this dealer, we're not equipped here. But here, we're equipped, and I like that, and you know that this is the final frontier and you've got to figure it out. So if you just know that it's all on you and you kind of go into it knowing that, there's nothing you can't figure out with the right information, which we have, and the right tools, which we have. Most kids, it starts out, a long time ago. Maybe they went to a racetrack with their dad, poster cars, like Celine's or some crazy Lamborghini Diablo on the wall, and they saw that and have been interested since, very young age, 6 or 7. For me, it didn't actually start out quite that early. It wasn't until I got my first car at 16. I had changed the oil with my dad and his trucks and cars and all that, for many years up till that point, but until I actually was doing it on my own car, and then once we did, something even further than an oil change. I think the very first kind of real thing I did on my car was a heater core on a 1996 Ford Bronco that I had, and heater core is not a very exciting thing, but for me it was something different than all the oil changes I'd just been doing, and it kind of made me realize, there's different stuff. There's a lot going on here. You kind of just broaden my horizon of what there is to do on a car. And then one step further from there is I started kind of getting into off-roading and all that. And, a lot of things break when you're it's a pretty aggressive environment on cars. So things break, and if you want to keep going out there and doing those enjoyable things, you got to be able to fix it. So I was, fixing U-joints, control arms, all that stuff frequently on my truck. And, the interest became a passion, and that's where we are today. Every year I like to get out there and do a backpacking trip with my friends, and every time it's been, just 100% memories, whole thing through. I can almost recount the entire event in my head just because it's, the sights you see in the mountains and the beautiful lakes, trees, no electronics, just good conversation with friends, outdoors, building in fires for warmth, food, kind of roughing it a bit, but still, I don't know, it's the most enjoyable form of vacation to me. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I am a skydiver. Like, that makes it sound like I go every weekend, but I have, and that is quite a lot of fun. I would definitely do that in the future again. If you've got the information and the drive to get what you want done, you can figure out anything. Information and tools are the two biggest things for getting any work done on a car.